arrangement to ensure that each and every plant which is planted actually survives. Now we have gone for new things, as my colleague Santi Kumari said, that we have now a Telangana Haritnidhi, which basically means Telangana Green Fund. Every registration which happens now in Telangana, 50 rupees goes for Telangana Haritnidhi. And similarly for everything. The honorable ministers, the MLAs, the people's representative will be contributing rupees 500 per month. We also contribute money. Each and every employee contributes money, and we have taken from them a kind of an undertaking that they are interested. So huge impact which is possible to do that. So based on CM's directions, his vision, we have taken certain things which are very unique. One of them with which I have been also involved personally is known as Palle Prakriti Vanam. Translated into English means a rural nature park. So today I am very happy to tell you that 19,472 such Palle Prakriti Vanam or the rural parks are functioning in Telangana, which means that each of them has 1 acre of land, and it is a very dense plantation on the Japanese model, 4,000 plants, a walking track and cement benches. Now across Telangana, it has become a brand and reminds people that there is a chief minister who takes so much of initiative and has so much of love for greenery. Seeing the success of that program, we have launched another program. We call it Brihat Prakriti Vanam. So 1 acre was okay, but can we do for more? So now we have more than 1,812 such Brihat Prakriti Vanam, which are more than 5 acres. So that has also spread. Earlier we were seeing one row of plantation across the roads, both sides of the road. We felt that it should be multi-layered. So when you travel on these roads, it should be a visual retreat. It should show you the color of Telangana. And therefore, we launched a program called MLAP, Multi-Layer Avenue Plantation. So it has 3 layers toward the road, the short heights, middle heights, and the big one. I'm happy to tell you that today we have 8,304 kilometers already planted under this MLAP. So I can keep on going, but I would not like to bore you. The Honorable Minister will speak about 109 urban parks which have been there, which has become, we call them oxygen parks also, because they are very close to Hyderabad and really have become like an oxygen factory. While I talk all this, I sometimes wonder that whether you will go with a feeling that we also, every state needs somebody like our Honorable Chief Minister Sri K. Chandrasekhar Rao. But till the time you get a person with such passion, there are other things that you can do as an officer, as an individual. When I think of this, I am reminded of the forest man of India, Mr. Jadhav, who single-handedly in the Majuli Island near Jorhat, brought 550 hectares of, very hostile land which was unarable under deep forest. There are other examples all of us have done, like thousands of acres of silver oak plantation. My friend Chiranjeevi knows, and Pratik, everybody knows, that we brought an entire area of Paderu under, silver oak and coffee plantation. In Anandpur, a new program called Chinta to Nischinta, which basically means plantation of tamarind trees, became such a famous thing. And today we have more than 60,000 acres. What I mean to say that if you decide that you will see that India becomes green, it becomes immune from the vagaries of nature and particularly climate change, it is possible. And definitely we all can do it. And perhaps this visit will inspire all of us to work on these programs. I would like to thank Honorable Ministers for giving me this opportunity, and particularly thank Mrs. Sobha that in her last month, when she has got couple of days, there cannot be any better tribute and way of celebrating her career as PCCF. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving an insight about the initiatives taken at the government level for greening of Telangana. And now, because we know that today's workshop is being jointly organized by Government of India and also Government of Telangana, and the brain behind for this workshop to happen today is none other than the head of the Forest Department in Government of India, and he is with us now. May I invite Sri Chandraprakash Goyal ji, Director General of Forest and Special Secretary, MOE of Government of India, to address the gathering here.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Minister Shri A. Indra Kumar Reddy Sahib, Honorable Minister Shri KT Ramarao Sir, Shri Sumesh Kumar Ji, Chief Secretary, Government of Telangana, Shrimati R. Shobha, PCCF and Head of Forest for Telangana, Shrimati A. Shanti Kumari, Special Chief Secretary, Telangana, Shri Subhash Chandra, CEO, Campa, Shri Lokesh Jaiswal Ji, and Shri Akbar, CCF, Andhra Pradesh. A warm welcome from my side to all of you, and I also welcome all the PCCFs and head of states from the different state departments, my colleagues from Ministry of Permanent Forest, the friends from media, and all other dignitaries. So today we have gathered here to discuss various issues on forestry and wildlife, and also the examples that the Telangana has set for us. As has been mentioned, and as we all of has been seeing during the recent past, Telangana has really done wonderful work as far as the forestry is concerned. The achievement speaks volumes about the efforts that have been put in by the officers and also by the political leadership that is in Telangana as of now. The increase of 7% in 5 years from 2015 to 2020 is really a great achievement by any standards, and I congratulate the honorable ministers on the dais and also the PCCF on my behalf and also on the behalf of the ministry for this tremendous task. I really think that all of us should really take it as an example for all of our states and should try to adopt the best practices that have been done in the Telangana. As the Chief Secretary Sahib was saying that the Hartima Nidhi and Telangana Ka Harit Haram, all these schemes are worth emulating, and I think as and when we get an opportunity in the states, we should try to have them in our state activities in whatever best possible manner we can. As far as the Government of India is concerned, Government of India is committed to the increase in forest cover. Our forest policy mentions increase to 33% of the total land mass. Recently, our Honorable Prime Minister has also mentioned that our NDC commitments will be to increase increase additional carbon sink of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide by 2030. And forestry is certainly one of the main pillars if we really want to achieve this. So agroforestry, as we have been seeing, the tree outside forestry in the recent ISFR report, there the increase in the forest cover was percentage-wise a little less than the increase in the tree outside forest. So that also maybe the Telangana example can be looked into, where even the green budget has been, a sort of green budget concept has been given for the village bodies and the local bodies. So that can be a part of our policies in future. In today's deliberations, we can see where we stand as of now and how best we can adopt these practices. As far as Government of India is concerned, we are committed to all the activities that are pro-citizen and citizen-centric. We want to give the facilities and to the citizen at large as far as the agroforestry is concerned. But for these, there are certain bottlenecks for the legal aspect that we will be deliberating in the today's workshop. Ministry has also launched a Nagar One scheme where 6,000 Nagar Ones in various cities will be established during the course of the year. In the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we expect that at least 75 Nagar Ones are established in this particular year before 15th of August. Further, the ministry is also working towards revamping Green India Mission. We want a convergence of all these schemes that are being run by the state governments and the central government, so that the monitoring is also easy and also the allocation and maybe the release of funds are maybe synchronized in such a way that there is not a hue and cry for individual budget schemes. So that thing will also be deliberated upon. For the main aspect as far as the Ministry of Environment Forest concerned is the regulatory processes for FC clearance, for the EC clearance, and also for the CRZ clearances. For this, we are coming up with a new portal, and this portal is based on the DSS system that is developed by FSI. DSS module is basically working on the concept that all the forest boundaries of the country are digitized. But unfortunately, that concept, that digitization is still not complete. So today we have invited some of the speakers from Madhya Pradesh, which has been a lead state as far as forest boundary digitization is concerned. So we will try our best to digitize the boundaries within next 6 months. So this portal, when is launched, is effective and really working to the aspirations of the stakeholders. Man-animal conflict is also a major thing that is maybe taking a sort of disaster as far as the entire country is concerned. So recently, while we were discussing on the Wildlife Amendment Act in the Parliamentary Regulatory Committee, we were asked to design a model where this man-animal conflict is mitigated, and we come up with with such a model that whenever there is a man-animal conflict, the people at large are not may be harmed in a great manner. So during the day we will try to get some ideas on this aspect also. Without taking much of your time, and we will be hearing the honorable ministers also, I would like to place on record the hard work that has been done by my colleague R. Shobha during her entire career in forest service. She is really an epitome of simplicity, hard work and dedication, and which can be certainly a role model for all of us. Honorable sirs, I wish to place on record the sincere thanks to the State Government of Telangana for facilitating this grand event, and I am personally obliged to all of you for being present here and gracing this occasion. I sincerely thank all of you who are present here for sparing their time and coming with me and maybe deliberating on different topics during the day. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And next, he is a minister, very young, dynamic and energetic, and he is the person who is bringing many global big business firms to Hyderabad and creating lakhs and lakhs of jobs. And he is the person who is behind this clean and green Hyderabad and taken the challenge of making the Hyderabad as a global city and also responsible for making this Hyderabad the tree city, almost reviewing every week about the progress of nurseries, progress of plantations and progress of works in the urban parks. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me with a big round of applause, our young dynamic minister, Honorable KT Ramarao Garu, please.
Thank you, Akbar Garu. Honorable Minister for Forest, Shri Indra Karan Reddy Garu, Special Chief Secretary of Government of Telangana and in charge of the Forest Department, Srimati Shanti Kumari Garu, the Director General of Forest, Shri Chandra Prakash Goyal ji, our Chief Secretary, Shri Somesh Kumar Garu, Subhash Chandra ji, who is the CEO of Campa, our own PCCF, who, as was pointed out, is, I think, relinquishing her responsibilities in the next couple of days and who's done a stellar job. I think she deserves a huge round of applause from all of us. Srimati Shobha Garu, Shri Lokesh Jaiswal ji, Srimati Sunita Bhagwat ji, and to all the officers, to all the respected officers who are representing their own states, and to officers from Government of India as well. We warmly welcome you to the Tree City as recognized by the Arbor Day Foundation and UN, Hyderabad. In fact, for those of you who are from other states other than outside of Telangana, let me point out that Hyderabad was the only city that was recognized by Arbor Day Foundation and UN as a tree city. I was also told by our PCCF, and one interesting statistic that she pointed out. Our forest department here is headed by two officers who are incidentally women, the Special Chief Secretary herself and also the PCCF. They take a lot of pride in grooming other women officers, and our PCCF was pointing out to one thing which I thought was very interesting. She told me that 40.44%, she was very precise. She said 40.44% of my forest beat officers, forest range officers, forest section officers are all women. So we are essentially, I think one of the reasons why Telangana performs very well in terms of our rankings, green rankings, is possibly because of the diligent efforts of all these women officers. And as we approach close to the International Women's Day, I think all of us, men and other officers also in this room, will take a lot of pride in that. Now, one of the things that I keep complaining about in speaking at events like this is because all the preceding speakers, they reel out all the statistics, they tell you everything that there is to be told, so therefore there is not much to say for the one who speaks, either the ultimate speaker or the penultimate speaker. And Mr. Reddy has a tough job of trying to repeat a lot of these statistics, but I'll not go too much into detail. In fact, Somesh ji has stolen my speech. बहुत कुछ बोल दिया उन्होंने, तो you have stolen my speech. And since you have your batchmates and all here, you wanted to impress them, I'm presuming. I'll tell you 2-3 things. One, I think what's important, extremely important for a program like this to succeed, is the political will. I mean, there are a lot of officers who start off their service wearing the rose-tinted glasses, saying, मैं दुनिया बदल दूंगा, मैं पूरा जो मेरा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, जो मुझे एकेडमी में सिखाया गया, पूरी तरह से उसको मतलब कामयाब करने में मैं दिलो जान लगा दूंगा. हर कोई ऐसे ही शुरुआत, हर किसी की शुरुआत ऐसे ही होती है. पर 2 साल बाद या 3 साल बाद you become a bit jaded. You are like, okay, nothing's going to change, the system is like this. हमारे सीनियर ऐसे हैं, हमारे सुपीरियर ऑफिसर ऐसे हैं और पॉलिटिशियन ऐसे हैं. इसको करके थोड़े दिन में हम लोग सभी लोग जेडेड हो जाते हैं. We give up, or we at least tend to slack. But I think what is important, as was pointed out by our Chief Secretary, is that each of us within our own realm of possibilities, within our own realm of influence, within our own sphere of influence, can effect a change. If private citizens, private individuals can effect a change without much support from the government, despite the government, in fact, if I have to say it, why can't we as people who run the government, why can't we as people who actually lead from the front or supposed to lead from the front, why can't we do it, in spite of whatever perceived or real obstacles there are? The commonality of purpose, the unison of thought is something that we can certainly think of and learn from others. And there is no need to reinvent the wheel. If a state like Telangana is doing well in a short span of 5 years, as CP Goyal ji has pointed out, why can't other states do it? Why can't we do it in our own little realms of possibilities and little realms of little domains of influence that we all have? If Telangana as a state can improve its green cover from 24 to 31.7% in toto, why can't we do it? Why can't other states do it? We set ourselves targets and we said we go aggressively against them. We can certainly make it happen. But what is more important is, as I was pointing out to your DG, a lot of us operate in silos. The IFS, the IAS, the IPS, each of our roles are cut out, the politicians, the public representatives. We all tend to operate with blinders, don't think about what's happening in the room next door or in the office next door. And we all tend to think that our job is important and what the other person is doing is not as important maybe. That kind of blinds us from this whole unison of purpose. I think that is the most important change. That is the most important message our Honorable Chief Minister has given us 7 days into his office in 2014. He brought a lot of us into the same room. Ministers who are responsible for urban development, ministers who are responsible for rural development, minister who is responsible for forest. Because these three departments, if we work together, are the key to success, the key to effecting a long-lasting change. He told us two things. He made a very passionate appeal. He said, this is not a program that is going to get me electoral dividends. A green drive, increasing green cover, typically हमें वोट नहीं देता. इसलिए बहुत सारे पॉलिटिशियन लोग उस पर ध्यान नहीं देते हैं. हम लोग हमेशा इस बात पे लगे रहते हैं कि कैपेक्स कैसे बिताया जाए, कैसे खर्च किया जाए, ताकि एक नया फ्लाईओवर बने, नया एक्सप्रेसवे बने, जिसको मैं दिखा सकूं और बोलूं कि ये हमारी तरक्की है, हमारी विकास है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. उन्होंने कहा हमसे कि आई एम नॉट थिंकिंग अबाउट द करंट जनरेशन, आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट फ्यूचर जनरेशंस. His appeal was so passionate, we were all moved. He said a city like Hyderabad, which is one of the fastest growing cities in India, and he says it repeatedly, not once. He said, with a lot of passion and with a lot of concern, उन्होंने कहा कि एक ऐसा भी दिन आएगा अगर हम अभी छोड़ देते हैं, अगर हम परवाह नहीं करते हैं या लापरवाह हम रहते हैं, तो ऐसा एक दिन आएगा जब आपको एक 5 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर का जगह हैदराबाद में ढूंढ निकालना पड़ेगा और वहां पे जितने भी इमारत हैं उन सबको गिरा के आपको फॉरेस्ट वहां पे उगाना पड़ेगा, झाड़ उगाना पड़ेगा. ऐसा ना हो कि हम लोग ऑक्सीजन के लिए तड़पें, ऐसा ना हो. इट माइट साउंड अ बिट एक्सट्रीम, इट माइट साउंड अ बिट एक्सट्रीम, इट माइट साउंड अ बिट रैडिकल, बट द फैक्ट इज there is massive degradation all over the planet in spite of our commitments at COPs and other things. One of the COP events was held in Hyderabad. For those of you who attended, when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, I think, back COP 11, happened right here in the city of Hyderabad. And each COP, there are resolutions, there are commitments given. Hardly many of them are actually adhered to. Even our Honorable Prime Minister, I think, was at COP 26 recently. Is that COP 26 or? And he had made a commitment कि 2070 तक हम इंडिया को नेट जीरो बनाएंगे. उन्होंने कमिटमेंट दिया है कि आगे आने वाले 48 ईयर्स में हमने इंडिया को नेट जीरो बनाना है. My humble appeal to the DG and all the officers of the state cadre and leaders of their respective departments at the state level, and also leaders who in their right are leading India's afforestation drive. My humble appeal to you. अगर हम हिंदुस्तान में ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस का रैंकिंग ला सकते हैं और एक स्टेट को दूसरे स्टेट के मुकाबले लड़ा सकते हैं और उसके लिए एक माहौल क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, क्यों हम नेट जीरो का क्यों ऐसे ही एक प्रोग्राम नहीं चालू कर सकते हैं? वाई कांट वी स्टार्ट अ रैंकिंग सिस्टम ऑफ वन स्टेट अगेंस्ट अनदर, वन यूटी अगेंस्ट अनदर, एंड क्रिएट अ चैलेंज ऑफ सॉर्ट्स कि भाई आप दिखाओ. नेट जीरो 2070 का चैलेंज प्रधानमंत्री ने, चैलेंज नहीं बल्कि वहां कमिटमेंट दिया हुआ है, तो कौन सी ऐसी स्टेट आगे जाके सबसे पहले ये अचीव करेगी, इसका हम चैलेंज क्यों नहीं क्रिएट कर सकते हैं भारत सरकार की तरफ से? ये आप सोचिए जरूर. और दूसरी बात, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस रैंकिंग्स में तेलंगाना not only in green cover but ease of doing business, we are also ahead of many states, and in fact we are in the top 1, 2, 3 always. That is because of our policies. The other thing I would like to urge you to think, even industry, let me wear the hat of being the industry minister for a minute. Every industrialist that I interact with, they're concerned. They're setting their own institutional goals कि हमें हमारी कंपनी को नेट जीरो बनाना है 2030 तक या 35 तक या 40 तक. उन्होंने अपना एक टारगेट बनाया हुआ है, एंड दे विल बी फोकस्ड, दे विल बी इंक्लाइंड टुवर्ड दोज कंट्रीज, दोज स्टेट्स, दोज गवर्नमेंट्स which also take environment very seriously, which also take decarbonization very seriously. Now my humble appeal to the forest department is, I think you need to sensitize, you need to be present at CII forums, you need to be present at FICCI forums. Don't operate in isolation. आपको आपका omni present एक माहौल क्रिएट करना चाहिए जिसमें आपको हर स्टेट में जो CII का फोरम होता है, हर स्टेट में जो FICCI का फोरम होता है, या हर स्टेट में जो इंडस्ट्री का बॉडी होता है, उसमें आपको जाना चाहिए, उसको बताना चाहिए उनको कि अगर आप चाहते हो कि आप दुनिया के सबसे बड़े कंपनीज के साथ टाई अप या बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी चाहते हो, सो यू बेटर फोकस ऑन दिस ऑल्सो, बिकॉज दिस इज गोइंग टू बी एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू थ्राइव एंड ग्रो in future, because the world is taking this very seriously. The world is taking sustainability very seriously. You need to present yourself, you need to talk about why afforestation is important. Even on the forums where electric mobility, electric vehicles are being talked about. Why is electric vehicles important? All these missing pieces of the puzzle being put together is what is going to make the difference for us as a country. Just forest department operating with blinders saying, मैं मेरा फॉरेस्ट को किसी को इंक्रोच नहीं करने दूंगा या एक भी झाड़ यहां से नहीं जाने दूंगा, वो नहीं काम चलेगा. यू हैव टू ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड, आवर ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर श्री KCR गारू always tells us, industry not at the cost of environment, industrialization not at the cost of environment. We cannot have rapid industrialization just because we want jobs. We also need to balance it, with environmental sensibilities and sustainability as a guiding principle. He also says urban development हाँ होना चाहिए, बिकॉज हमारे महात्मा गांधी जी ने एक समय कहा था कि इंडिया लिव्स इन इट्स विलेजेस. यस, इंडिया डज लिव इन इट्स विलेजेस, बट इंडिया इज रन बाय इट्स सिटीज एंड टाउन्स. आवर इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी, द ग्रोथ इंजन्स ऑफ दिस कंट्री आर आवर टाउन्स. बहुत बार एज अर्बन डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्टर हमें बहुत तकलीफ पहुंचती है हमारे फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से. मतलब तकलीफ नहीं, बट कि चैलेंज होता है, एक दूसरे को चैलेंज करते हैं हम लोग. उनको बताना हमारे लिए बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है कि भाई एक फ्लाईओवर बनाने से आपके कार्बन एमिशन कम होंगे, आप समझने की कोशिश करो. ये कहते हैं कि नहीं, आप 200 झाड़ हटाओगे तो हम हटाने नहीं देंगे आपको. मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं इस मंच से द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को खास, प्लीज बी प्रैग्मेटिक इन योर अप्रोच, प्लीज बी कॉमन सेंसिकल इन योर अप्रोच. आई टेल यू व्हाई आई से दिस विद अ लॉट ऑफ पेन. एक फ्लाईओवर आप बनाते हो, you are only thinking about the 200 trees that will be either translocated or uprooted, but you also need to do the study कि हमारे पास जो अर्बन डेवलपमेंट डिपार्टमेंट के पास जो स्टडी होता है कि कितना कार वहां से जाता है, कितना समय वो ट्रैफिक सिग्नल पे रुकता है और कितना देर वो इंजन चालू रखता है जिससे कार्बन एमिशन आता है बाहर, इसको हम ध्यान में लेते ही नहीं. यू ऑपरेट विद ब्लाइंडर सेइंग बस हमें तो इसी से मतलब है, हमें यही सिखाया गया मसूरी में तो हम यही करेंगे और कुछ नहीं करेंगे. आई थिंक वी हैव टू चेंज इन सिंक विद टाइम. We have to take a relook at what's happening, why our cities and why our towns need more support from you in terms of practicality, in terms of legislations, in terms of acts that we enact. I think we need to be a bit more robust. And I hope you don't take this as an offense. I'm not saying this in any offensive way. All I'm saying is you need to also understand the sensibilities in terms of our planning. Because unless we grow, unless we continue to grow, remember in 1987, both India and China, our GDP was similar size, 87, not too long ago. And I think I'm sure there are 87 batch officers here. There are, yes, Mr. Jaiswal is a 87 batch of, yes sir, आप भी. 87 में जब आप सर्विस में ज्वाइन हुए थे, चाइना और इंडिया का जीडीपी एकदम सेम था. आज देखिए चाइना कहाँ पे, हम कहाँ पे. हमारी इकोनॉमी की साइज है 2.3 कुछ ट्रिलियन, उनका है 16 ट्रिलियन. और हम उम्मीद लगा के चल रहे हैं कि 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी बनाना है 2024 तक या 25 तक. हमारी टारगेट भी इतनी मॉडेस्ट है. क्यों? क्योंकि इन 87 के बाद चाइना ने हर साल 10% जीडीपी का ग्रोथ दिखाया हर साल, और हम लोग पता नहीं कहां रह गए. 2%, 3%, 4%. इस बीच में तो वो भी स्लिप हो गया. हम लोग जीडीपी हमारी श्रीलंका, बांग्लादेश और पाकिस्तान के पीछे हैं अभी तो इस बीच में. पॉइंट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक इज, unless there is economic growth in a nation, new jobs cannot be created. Unless new jobs are created, the country will go into unrest at some point. So all of these drive and strive, to decarbonize, to increase a forest cover, to do a massive afforestation drive is all good, but we can balance it like Telangana has been doing. We continue to rank number 1 or 2 on the ease of doing business, but at the same time we also continue to rank number 1 on the increase in green cover, on the increase in afforestation drive also. And this is not me blowing my own trumpet. This is, I think, Forest Survey of India that has given us that compliment ki Telangana ne sabse acha perform kiya hai. So this state is showing you that both of these are actually, then they can go hand in hand. These two goals can go hand in hand. They need not be in conflict, in perennial conflict with each other. To all my friends here who have come from other states, I urge you, एक तरफ हैदराबाद जो है ट्री सिटी कहलाया जाता है, यूएन उसको ट्री सिटी बोलती है, और आप देखिए हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी. मैं खुलेआम सवाल कर रहा हूं, आप जहां से भी हो, बॉम्बे से हो, दिल्ली से हो, या जो भी सिटी से आप हो, या बैंगलोर से हो, यहां कहीं से भी हो, अगर हिंदुस्तान में आप हमसे बेहतरीन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अगर कोई सिटी में अगर दिखा सकते हो, आई डेयर यू, आई चैलेंज यू. सो वी हैव बीन एबल टू बैलेंस बोथ urban infrastructure and also tree cover. Why can't others do it? That is the question I'm asking. Be practical, be sensible in terms of your approach to increasing infrastructure, to improving your green cover, increasing, improved ways of doing business, at the same time also ensuring that environment is not affected. We in Telangana, as was pointed out by our Chief Secretary, have come out with some very sensible models, sensible legislations. One of the things I'm very proud of is what our Honorable CM's brainchild, the Telangana Ku Haritaharam, which literally translates to a green necklace for Mother Telangana. This program is what has really brought about the change that we see in Telangana today. It has ushered in a green revolution. Today our forest cover, we say it with a lot of pride, has increased from 24% to 31.7%. If you look at forest cover, we have increased. If you look at tree cover, we have increased. If you look at the green cover in total, we have improved. And I think next year, जब 23 में ranking आएगा, तो हमारी performance even बेहतर होगी, मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ. The point I'm trying to make is, we have leveraged every single opportunity. We brought in legislations, we brought in accountability. हमने सरपंच से लेके मुख्यमंत्री तक हर किसी का accountability हमने decide किया. Urban local body हो, rural local body हो, corporation हो, municipality हो, नगर पंचायती हो, जो भी हो, हर किसी का हमने एक टारगेट रखा. और लेजिस्लेशन में ये भी डाल दिया कि अगर 85% सर्वाइवल नहीं होती है तो आपका जॉब जा सकता है, चाहे आप पंचायत सेक्रेटरी हो या म्युनिसिपल काउंसिलर हो, जो भी हो. योर जॉब इज नॉट इंडिस्पेंसिबल, यू आर नॉट इंडिस्पेंसिबल. दैट्स द लाउड एंड क्लियर मैसेज दैट इज गिवन बाय आवर लेजिस्लेशन. 10% of the budget being given towards green is something that you've not heard of anywhere in India, at least no, I have not heard of it. 10% हमारी रूरल लोकल बॉडी बजट और अर्बन लोकल बॉडी की जो बजट है 900 करोड़ पर ईयर, एंड दिस इज अपार्ट फ्रॉम व्हाट वी गेट फ्रॉम काम्पा एंड अदर्स. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज ब्रॉट अबाउट द यूनिजन ऑफ पर्पस, दैट सेंस ऑफ accomplishment and achievement. More importantly, we've also leveraged Narega in a big way, in a very effective way. multi-layer avenue plantation की बात हो रही थी, पल्ले प्रकृति वनम्स की बात हो रही थी. इन सारी ही चीजों में हमने dovetail किया. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के जितने भी स्कीम है, why not? Why let them operate in isolation? We have dovetailed everything nicely into our program. Nothing wrong in it. I mean, as long as you are able to deliver the goods and outcome. And more importantly, I would like to make a request to Subhash ji here. सर, अच्छे परफॉर्मिंग स्टेट जो हैं वो चाहते हैं कि आपके पास जो डिस्क्रिशन होता है, आप 90% में देते हो कैंपा में, जो 10% आपके पास होता है, आई थिंक यू शुड ऑल्सो गिव इट टू परफॉर्मिंग स्टेट्स. जो परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, जो कोई मेट्रिक पे अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, कोई इनोवेटिव हम कर रहे हैं, आपको इंकरेज करना चाहिए. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया को बोलना चाहिए कि भाई तेलंगाना अगर अच्छा काम कर रहा है तो इनको थोड़ा और मदद देते हैं, एक और प्रोग्राम अगर लेना चाहते हैं तो जरूर देना चाहिए. सो आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू ensure that you perform, incentivize performers and maybe punish or disincentivize non-performers. That is one appeal I would like to make. Our Honorable Chief Minister, in fact, has also thought of a very interesting institution, Forest College and Research Institute, which was launched in 2016, and I'm delighted and proud that it will be upgraded, and our Minister will share more details with you hopefully. It will be upgraded to a forest university. And possibly, I think, one of the very few universities, or possibly the first university exclusive to forest in India. And I would request both DG and also CEO Kampa to possibly bring in your officers more often, so that we can even learn from you, we can even understand what better can be done. I was also proposing to your DG, जैसा डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर करती हैं कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र, आपको भी ऐसे ही कोई डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन के लिए, बिकॉज वी हैव वेरीड सॉइल टाइप्स इन इंडिया. वी हैव 6 different soil types in Telangana alone: sandy, alluvial, black, ye wo. You're better judges of that. I'm not a geologist or a scientist or a forest man. All these different soil types We can have demonstrative farms for your future officers. We can create such farms and we can ensure that rate of survival क्या है, किस चीज़ में हम देख सकते हैं. उसके साथ ही साथ मैं एक और चीज़ भी कहना चाहता हूँ. आज टेक्नोलॉजी की ज़माना है. The interface of technology with any sector is exciting. We have leveraged technology in a big way even in our afforestation program. We have used drones and seed copters much before Government of India has launched its drone policy. हम ना सिर्फ ड्रोन से सीड डिलीवरी करते हैं, सीड बॉल डिलीवर करते हैं, हम ड्रोन से मेडिसिन भी, वैक्सीन भी सप्लाई करते हैं इनहॉस्पिटेबल टेरेन्स. इट्स अ प्रोजेक्ट कॉल्ड मेडिसिन फ्रॉम द स्काई. सो लेवरेजिंग टेक्नोलॉजी, जियो टैगिंग प्लांट्स, ensuring the survival, ensuring the precision bombing when it comes to degraded forest areas is also important. Geotagging each of them, monitoring them like Karnataka does, I'm told, is extremely important. So a synergy of all these areas is what really would bring about a great deal of change. My compliments to Shobha ji on doing a terrific job. She's relinquishing her job in a few days. Compliments, I thought we should offer you our greetings in front of your entire fraternity so that they take a lot of pride in the kind of work you have done and your team has done. Compliments to you and your minister. Sir, you have led from the front, our Honorable Minister Shri Indra Karan Reddy Garu, under the guidance of our Honorable Chief Minister. And the Minister's district also has a great deal of forest cover. My compliments to you, sir, and to Special CS and to Chief Secretary. Once again, we take a lot of pride in what we do in Telangana, and I hope the rest of the country and all officers from various parts of the country will also draw inspiration and improve our green cover and achieve the net zero goal much before 2070. Thank you very much. Enjoy your stay in Hyderabad.
Thank you very much, sir, for very inspiring and thought-provoking speech. And next is a minister, our own minister. Under his leadership, we have seen the Telangana the top in terms of forest vegetation cover change positively because of the various policy decisions taken up by the Honorable Minister. And may I request all the ladies and gentlemen here to please help me with a big round of applause to invite our Honorable Forest Minister, Sri A. Indra Karan Reddy Garu, Honorable Minister for Environment, Forest, Science and Technology and Endowments and Law, Government of Telangana. Sir.
Good morning to all. Welcome to Hyderabad. Welcome to this national workshop. Honorable our Minister Sri KT Ramarao Garu, Honorable Minister for IT and EC, MA and UD and Industrial and Commerce Department of Government of Telangana, and Sri Somesh Kumarji, IAS Chief Secretary, Government of Telangana, and Sri Chandraprakash Goyalji, IFS Director General Forest, Special Secretary, Minister of Environment, Forest, Government of India. Sri Subhash Chandra, IFS Additional Director General of Forest and CO National Campa, Ministry of Environment, Forest and CC, Government of India. Srimati A. Shanti Kumari, IAS Special Chief Secretary, Forest, Government of Telangana. Srimati R. Shobha, IFS Principal Chief Conservator of Forest and Head of Forest Forces, Telangana State. And Sri Lokesh Jaiswal, IFS Principal Chief Conservator of Forest and CEO Campa, Telangana Forest Department. Srimati Sunita M. Bhagavat, IFS Additional Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, Rangareddy Circle, and our Akbarji, and PCCFs, all of the state forest officials and media friends. It is my pleasure to hear and address for this wonderful program. As you all know, that Telangana is younger state within a short span of time. This state became a role model of the other states. Under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Sri K. Chandrasekhar Rao Garu, with the visionary approach to taking development with environment concerned, the Honorable Chief Minister of Telangana, Sri K. Chandrasekhar Rao Garu, Telangana state already implementing state flagship program, Telangana Ku Haritaram, to increase forest and tree over to 33%. geographically area by way of planting of 130 crores seedlings outside forest area and planting and development 100 crores seedlings inside forest area through plantation and assisted national regeneration since 2015. As a part of the Telangana Haritaram Forest Department has also prepared forest regeneration action plan for all reserve forest blocks in the state duly following Jungle Bachao, Jungle Badao. Most of the Campa funds are being utilized to protect and improve forest and wildlife with forestry activities to improve forest cover, biodiversity, carbon, land degradation, naturally and water, etc. With his visionary approach, political will strong institutional arrangements for implementation and monitoring are already showing positive result to term of increase in the forest and tree cover. The second highest country as per the 2021 report and increase in carbon stock in the forest area in Telangana state. Urban forest parks are also being developed in urban area to protect valuable forest land and to provide lung space for the citizens. 53 parks are completed so far. As a part of responsibility participation in environment protection, Honorable Chief Minister of Telangana, Sri K. Chandrasekhar Rao Garu, has taken another visionary approach to create Harita Nidhi. In this plan of the government, servants have been contributing certain portion of amount in this area earning to the Harita Nidhi. Private establishment and institutions also contributing as well in specific government transactions accordingly. This fund will be utilized for afforestation and forest regeneration. Our colleagues, forest officers will tell about to detail in other sessions about this program and other initiative taken by the Telangana Forest Development. Sharing of knowledge always a best practice in learning. I wish this workshop will give new ideas, innovation and right direction to all involved in protection and development of forest and wildlife in the country. To achieve the national and global commitments, I wish the workshop grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, technology in forestry, forest management, implementation and monitoring, launch of forest rejuvenation mobile web apps, and also release of brochure on forest fire risk donation. I request Sri Jaiswal sir, PCCF and CEO Campa Telangana to take a lead in this.
So just a brief, we have prepared the forest rejuvenation plan for each beat. Almost we are having about 760 RA blocks, and for whatever forest activities required there to be done has been assessed by our forest staff, validated, and those catering actually for all the national and international commitments to increase the forest cover, carbon sequestration, biodiversity, water, and also employment to the livelihoods and other things to the village people there. And for that actually now the technology aspect is very important, because that reduces the time, also increases the efficiency. So for that purpose, these one mobile app to capture the photographs and also the progress and also the KML files, geotagging and all those things. And web portal is there to give a very detailed reports in terms of the action plan, progress reports, and also it will be having a graphical presentation and also the geo-based other details also. So I will request Honorable Minister for Municipal Administration and Urban Development Department for launching this mobile app, which is prepared by the Center for Good Governance. Next to Next one is the web app, which I request the Sri A. Indrakar Reddy Garu, Honorable Minister for Forest, to kindly launch it.
Sir, I request all the dignitaries on the dais to release the brochure on the Fire Risk Zonation 2022 of Telangana.
Thank you, sir. Now, as a token of remembrance, mementos, I request PCCF Sri Dobriel sir to come on the dais and please hand over the mementos to the chief guests and dignitaries as a token of remembrance. Sri Pargain sir, please. Additional PCCF. Vinay Kumar sir, Sinha sir, please come out to the dais to hand over the mementos. Swargam Sinha sir, PCCF. Swargam Sinha sir, PCCF admin, to please come out to the dais to hand over the mementos to the dignitaries. Please. Thank you very much, and formal vote of thanks by Madam Srimati Sunita M. Bhagwat, IFS, Additional PCCF.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. It is a very tall job because already the honorable ministers have spoken a lot. I just want to thank for their presence who have come, taking time out from their busy schedule. I thank all the dignitaries who have come over here, all the officers, all the print and electronic media for coming over here. I thank you from my bottom of my heart, and thank you Government of India for giving us this opportunity to carry on to host this function. Thank you very much, and good day. The tea is also there arranged at the back of this hall. So I request all the dignitaries to join for the tea break. Thank you.
15 minutes break. We'll come to the end of this inaugural session, and tea is arranged.